All right. We're coming together to play Bedlam Hall, which is powered by the Apocalypse game. It is set in the early 1900s on an English estate. I will say right off the bat, I have a very distinctively Southern accent from the U.S. You will hear me murder a British accent tonight. It will be one of the first of the fatalities we have. So I apologize to you, Garwin, for taking your mother tongue in vain.
Well, can I just point out I'm actually Welsh, so English isn't my mother tongue.
I won't even attempt to try to do Welsh.
And to be fair, I'm going to be murdering a British accent tonight as well. So
good show. All right. To all of you should have had, Patrick has put up a roll for your party here in our chat. And we also have the stuff in the events. Lou, did you have a chance to pull the things down from the events, the character keeper and the playbooks?
Yeah, I got that stuff.
Hello.
She's just about to go swimming.
Is that your little one?
Yeah, that's Rose.
Oh, she's adorable.
Yeah, it's been really, really hot here.
Oh, has it?
Yeah, like over 100 of your degrees.
It's gotten cold here. It's gone under 50 of our degrees.
Yeah, right.
But let's see.
I got the calendar and I got the playbooks and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so take a look through them. We have Patrick. I believe you're playing the chauffeur, and Garrett, I think you're playing the valet.
Yep, that's right.
So any of the others are open to you, Lou. The character keeper Patrick made is really, I cannot thank you enough. It's really awesome. It went ahead and it's laid everybody's playbook out. So you pick your playbook and we'll move you, shift you if you choose the butler, which is the only one who's off the page, I believe. What we're going to be doing is working as the servants in this house full of some of the strangest people on earth. We have, and you'll see in our character keeper on the NPC page, I have listed some of the family, the lord and lady, their children, and some of the guests that are coming for this holiday here. The house is Bethlehem Hall, but they call it Bedlam. It is enormous, beautiful old ramble of a mess of an estate. And this is a sort of family that doesn't exactly keep it up on the outside. So we have the stain, we have the crumble, we have the leaks. The gardens themselves are overgrown. And if you go past the immediate environs of the house, there are all sorts of wild animals that go around out there. The hedge maze is covered over and nobody in right mind would go out there, sort of things. And that is, when we look on the playbooks, each of the playbooks, one page will be expected duties. Those are the basic moves for the game. And you'll notice one of them is go out on the grounds. It is a catch-all for any time that you leave the house and it's rather immediate environs. So you can walk into the carriage yard or over to the garage where the car is. That's where Patrick's chauffeur often will be. That's okay. But the moment you start walking out into the gardens or down the road, awful things can happen to you. So that's a catch-all for that. Otherwise, you're going to be spending your time here in the house trying to keep the family safe, keep the family from scandal, and advance yourself. Maybe not even in that order. You're trying to increase your prestige, which is a stat you have on there. Everyone will start with 1, unless you are the butler, who will start with 2. Prestige is both your experience and it's a currency. You could spend your prestige to give yourself a bonus to a roll. You can use prestige to kind of be an indicator of how you're dealing with other members of the staff and how the family looks at you. And then in the off chance someone ever gets to 5 or more, they could spend 5 of them, and that's an advancement. Probably we'll have to deal with this time around. But it's going to fluctuate a lot all through the game. You have a lot of moves that give you more prestige. You have moves that take away prestige from other people. And you have moves that'll make you lose prestige. You as the servants want to get your prestige to be as high as possible so you can overshine the rest of these poor mugs that are working here with you and make yourself the most important person here in Bedlam Hall. So along with that, each of you has a secret. The secrets are something you don't want the family to know about and something you don't want the fellow servants to know about. It can be used against you. It brings shame to the family, or it's something that you have that you just don't want out. There's a great list of those if we have the book open.
Page 36.
Yes, page 36. Thank you, Ben. Where they go through some sample sets, and it's a nice exhaustive little list, or a nice list, but you could come up with something in there as well that you might prefer along those veins. But it gives you an idea of the secrets. What we're going to do is, because we're playing online, I think we're going to do open secrets unless someone objects. It just seems to work better than having it private, just because that means we have to open up some other channel, and this way we're kind of all working together to get the secrets of each other out. And so just that player knowledge compared to your character knowledge. And the secrets are things that we use. We can use them for innuendo. If you have a knowledge of someone's secrets, you can use innuendo to kind of blackmail them, to try and encourage them to help you out, or to lay a little bit of suspicion in the minds of the family as to these other people. So there's that kind of PvP aspect of you're wanting to work over other folks. We're wanting to also, like I say, take our prestige up. So doing things that help the family, go a little outside of our job sometimes to get a little extra prestige, or standing up when the family could have some problems and, stopping that, getting in its way. You're wanting to push up the family and yourself at the expense often of your fellow servants, because, we have to all get ahead, don't we? So, Patrick, since you've gone ahead and played once before, why don't you tell out your character, and then everybody can kind of get a hear. And I know Gerwin's already had a chance to kind of build up his, so we'll go from you to Gerwin, and hopefully Lou, if you have any questions, or if you have any questions, Gerwin, as this goes along, ask me and get the characters built.
Okay, so I'm playing Spargo, the chauffeur. He drives the car for the family and has a lot of sort of freedom from normal everyday duties that the other servants have to do. He's pretty charming. He's large and handsome, smiles a lot. He's not really great with dealing with the strange vicissitudes of the house, but he's a little better at dealing with being out on the lawn. He's got the car in the garage when the family doesn't need it. And he has some good connections into town and can usually wheedle his way into an afternoon off if he wants to go into town and hang out there. My cruel move is a turn of the screw. You have the option of intentionally provoking one of the family members into their trouble's final horrific state, causing everyone to deal with the ramifications, just because that's funnier. And let's see. So I have some history questions. Do we want to do that?
Let's hold history until everybody's got a chance to have at least decided what character they're playing. We'll do a second on that. Did you mention your dirty move, your cruel move?
Yeah, that's the turn of the screw.
For all of you, these are once per session moves that you use that one up during the session, and it kind of causes problems for everyone. And it's often kind of that nuclear option when you want to go in there and, things are going badly. Let's just blow the place up. So, all right. So you've got your set down. Garwin, want to go ahead and tell us who you're playing tonight?
I'm playing. No, actually, I need to get the accent right. To be sure, I'm playing Richard O'Malley, formerly Lieutenant Richard O'Malley of the King's Royal Irish Rifles. I fought during World War One, and sorry, when is this set actually? Is it set into war?
World War One.
Yeah. So I fought during World War One, and that's where I came across one of the family members and saved the life of one of the family members. And since when I got demobbed, I then actually joined his service as his valet. I'm not going to do the accent while I'm actually talking, but a big, imposing Irishman, big, bushy beard, incredibly well groomed, so waxed and everything. A little bit of a dandy. Do you want to know my secret now, or should I save it for later?
Save it for just a little later. What'd you choose for your cruel move and go through your other moves?
I didn't actually know what the cruel moves were. I literally just.
I understand.
But I chose. Let's see what it was. I chose. And it would be the other end of the screen. I chose a terrible scandal. You have the option of sending a letter to the local newspaper detailing all known secrets in your arsenal simultaneously.
All right. So, what that would mean is, as you picked up secrets about other people here in the house, you've decided to let everybody outside know, and of course, the family would have to deal with that sort of thing going on. So, that's a big, horrible move. They have a thing on these play sheets where they just give a title and don't say what they are. So for you, Lou, looking at them, and even if you would like to look through them and see what they all mean, Garwin.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for right now, actually.
No, that one suits me fine, especially with what I have in mind.
Yeah, I'm happy just to choose one by the name of it, and you tell me what it does.
Okay.
They're on page 60.
I even had a marker there.
There's.
Oh yeah, I can see them
now. All right. So, Garwin, your other moves?
My other moves. Screen's open at the moment. I have the class move, which is in their best interests. You serve very closely with one of your family. Roll for something extra when you attempt to guide their direction. I take it that means that's with one. Yeah, that's with one member of the family, which will.
That's probably who you're valeting for.
Yes.
Which, looking, kind of at our NPCs of the household, that could be Lord Aldecott Blackwood himself. It could be his son Rupert, or pretty much, or it could be Uncle Wicket, who, of the family, Lord Aldecott is in charge. He's kind of an eccentric experimenter. He has no scientific background, so most of his experiments end with large bangs.
And that's a perfect place to actually have met him while he was serving on the front lines, testing his inventions.
Sounds excellent. All right, so you are Lord Aldecott's valet, and so you have a special close connection with him.
Okay. The other moves I've taken are a gentleman's gentleman, which means that when I... Sorry, 1 second. Upon viewing a person in the household, either family or staff, I can roll against etiquette, and then I get to ask certain questions about where they've been, what they've been doing, and what they plan to do.
Okay. Awesome.
And finally, I've got behind-the-scenes assistance. Gain prestige when you successfully protect someone's secret from being revealed.
Ooh, nice. I like that one. Okay. Lou, have you had a chance to look over? And with the stats, they do a layout. You might have seen there in the playbooks. Gerwin, you went with the across-the-board ones. I think Patrick went with a slight push towards persuasion. Lou, have you had a chance to decide on a playbook?
Yeah, I chose the butler, so you might not be able to see it because it's. I think you said it's past the page on your screen. But yeah. Can you see that there? Yeah. You can. Sweet. I'm still choosing a name. I'm going to really quickly choose a name, and then I will tell you about this butler.
Excellent.
Where are those suggested names gone? Anybody got a good butler name?
Well, the butler, it's always a surname.
Always a what name?
Yeah.
It's always a surname. The family called you by your surname, and everyone else call you by Mr. Then the surname.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to be called. How about maybe Deacon, Mr. Deacon?
Ooh, good name. Good name.
Yeah.
All right. And for our household, you're coming in as the butler. You'll have one extra prestige to start off with, and you have the voice of authority to start off with as well, which that gives you that extra prestige point. So look through and decide what other moves you might like. Looks like you chose your stats.
Mm-hmm.
And your cruel move is the physical altercation.
Yes, I'm planning to beat the living tar out of somebody. How I'm picturing this this guy is he's very old and tired, and he's but you can tell he was like a big man when he was younger. You know, when you see those guys that were obviously strong in their youth, like he's got a really big frame. Are we doing the secret thing yet?
Why don't you go ahead and choose your move real quick, and we'll go ahead and I'll come back down to you, and we'll start with Patrick telling out our secrets real quick.
Cool.
So, Patrick, would you like to tell everyone your secret?
All right. I think I'm going to go with, in the past you have seen, or at least at the time believed you had seen, ghosts and visions of the supernatural.
Was it here in the house, or was it something from before you moved here?
No, I think it was from like the last place that I was in service. And I came here, to escape all of that sort of insanity.
Oh my, what a bad choice.
They really, I guess the butler Deacon, he's really good in the interview process at covering up a lot of blood spatters. Strange noises.
About how long have you been with the family?
I think maybe like 4 months, just long enough for like weird things to not just be one-off incidences, just long enough for things to start seeping in about, wait, maybe this place is weirder all the time than I thought it was.
Okay. All right. Gerwin, what is your secret?
Okay. My character's name is Richard O'Malley. Lieutenant Richard O'Malley. It's not. I actually assumed the identity of Lieutenant Richard O'Malley during the war when he was killed on the front lines. I've been living out under the alias ever since.
Awesome. What is your real name then?
It's Declan O'Sullivan.
Dickman Sullivan. All right. And how you've been here pretty much since the war? You were Batman to Aldecott, I'm guessing, that sort of thing?
Well, I actually came across him on the battlefield after one of his experiments went wrong. And
saved it there.
And I helped it get him away from the resulting crater. And as a result, when the war ended, I came to him and called in the favor and said I was seeking employment. I also helped him hide the bodies as a result of the failed experiment.
Excellent. Aldecott believes very strongly in loyalty, and so he was more than happy to have a man who knows where the bodies are buried close by. Cool. That's fantastic. So you've been with him now several years.
Yes.
All right. That's an awesome secret. I love that secret. And Lou, have you got your secret? And did you pick your move?
Yeah. So this guy's secret is what is it? I forget what it's called. It's the one about having an illness or an impairment that you're hiding from everybody. I think he's almost gone completely blind, and he just knows the house so well that he's able to move around it, and like he's kind of adapted to being totally blind. But he's managing to hide that he pretty much can't see at all.
Excellent.
Does he wear dark little spectacles then, or?
Yes.
Awesome.
He's some slightly anachronistic, like rose tinted glasses.
Love it. And I'm guessing you've been with the family for quite some time.
I think so. Seeing as I don't know anything that happened last time, I think maybe he's I'm picturing he's been at another family member's like household or something, and he's come back into this household at this.
I was going to say, and for anybody, the two people who may possibly watch my first session, I think we're coming in with a clean slate. I think we're coming into our family fresh and clean. So
yes, I've been here forever.
Forever, all right.
Yeah, I sort of redid my history. This is the same character before, but I just undid everything I'd done before.
Reboot.
Yeah.
Cool. And I've chosen. So I picked 2 extra moves. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I chose the key. Sorry.
Is that right? You choose 2?
That's what it says in my thing.
Yes, it does.
I got keys to the manor, which essentially means I can unlock any door and get into any part of the house via secret entrances.
Ooh.
And then there's another one that I just like the name of, but I don't really know what it does. A place for everything. Roll with something extra when verifying everything in its place. I don't know what any of that means, but I chose that anyway.
All right. Rolling with something extra is the advantage, where I talked about you roll 3 and take the 2 highest. And that means you get to use it on the basic move, the expected duties sheet, everything in its place. And that lets you, it's a question move.
Cool.
And it's basically under the assumption that we all know this house so well that any tiny thing like an inch out of place might stand out to you.
Yeah, cool.
Wonderful.
Which I guess I'm doing via echolocation of some type now.
You can just smell that candlestick is off kilter.
Yeah.
Wonderful. For secrets, since we come out with them, to tell you real quick, like I say, you want to keep them kind of hidden. We'll do little things that move along, and we start opening them up. You'll see on your character sheet they have things you have suspicions of, things that you've confirmed. Those will be able to be used in moves if you have them confirmed or as you're using them with suspicions. I think best now we'll go ahead and do our question set, and then I'll kind of go over basic moves after that. Yes, sir?
Can you quickly refresh me of your secret, Patrick? I was deep in character creation.
Sure. So I've seen visions of ghosts and supernatural in the past. At the last job, I saw spirits of the dead like warning me away from their family. That's why I left that job.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, and so you came here to try get some more sanity.
And there were some follow-up questions, so I went with ideal. My response to it is sleepwalking and nightmares. I especially have a tendency to sleepwalk and wake up and find myself in graveyards.
Cool.
Nice. I will say also for Lou, for Deacon, you did find a note because I promised Noel that I would send his message on to the next staff member who took over the butler spot. That he had served here with the Blackwoods with distinction, and he was sorry that his physical impairments had meant that he must leave. But the master's experiment made him, he was proud to have been a part of it, and no, never mind, don't look at that damp spots around my cuffs, and no, those aren't tentacles, leave me alone.
I would just take that all in my stride. That's just part of living here. He couldn't hack it.
All right then. So we're going to go through our questions that are on your character. Are they on your character?
They're on the character keeper.
Yeah, they're on the
book, but not on the playbooks.
Yeah, I was using my little worksheet here, but they're not on, sadly, your player sheets. These playbooks are not the best written, I have to say, but fun game. You'll see on the character keeper, Patrick was nice enough to put up your questions for you, and I think we'll go down and ask our questions, have each person do theirs completely. So I believe we're asking 3.
Yeah.
So, Patrick, if you would be so kind, why don't you go through 3 of yours?
So, my first one is, which member of the family do you despise? And just taking a scroll through. I think it's Uncle Wicket.
Just can't stand him.
No. He dresses horribly, and he leaves those beauties everywhere. And also, I don't know, he touches things and they like tend to rust or corrode. It's probably just his dirty handprints or whatever he's been mucking around in his. Does he have like a separate house, or does he live in the main house?
He lives in the main house, but off on a wing where he can come in and out on his own.
Just weird smelling things over there, and I just don't trust him.
Understandable. He's sort of taciturn as well, and of all the family, he has this unnerving habit of he doesn't believe that there are strange things that happen in the house. He absolutely refuses to believe it.
And then who on the staff gives you bedroom eyes?
You can make up an NPC here on the staff, or you could choose perhaps one of the other two with their permission.
I'm up for that if you're up for it.
Sure. You do have a remarkable beard.
All right.
It's O'Malley, sort of. Okay. And then who in the household, either family or staff, deserves a good thrashing? And I definitely think that's Mr. Deacon. Just too full of himself by half.
We'll see how that goes.
It'll be funny since you, as the aged butler, chose the kick some ass move, and I, from the playbook that has a bunch of kick some ass move, went the pacifist route.
All right. Gerwin, would you like to go through your history questions?
Okay. Which member of the family do you serve? Well, I think that's already been answered. That's Lord Aldecott.
That is correct.
The next one I have is, who amongst the staff is envious of my position?
Again, can be one of these, or we could just set up an NPC.
I think we'll have the butler actually being envious of the close relation I have with Lord Aldecott.
Okay.
And I guess cars are a relatively new thing in the butler's life as well. It was probably something that wasn't in his, you know what I mean? He's maybe struggling to understand why it's important or doesn't like them or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're pretty newfangled. All right.
Okay. Then, which item of clothing or accessory have you lost since you were hired? My war medals are missing.
Oh.
Sorry, my war medals are missing. I'm sorry, my war medals are missing.
Are they missing because you never actually had any in the first place? Or?
No. The fake ones that I had are missing.
Gotcha. All right. So, Sergeant O'Malley's medals have, since you come here, they've been gone.
Lieutenant O'Malley, thank you very much. I was an officer.
Oh, I'm so sorry. A gentleman, sir.
I've risen from the ranks, but still an officer.
A full sharp you are. All right.
Well, his first name is Richard. And I'm expecting the Lord to go around calling me Dick all the time. So
perfect. Oh, fantastic. All right. Lou, would you like to go through Deacon's history questions?
Yes. Okay. Who on the staff do you think have been shirking their duties of late? I'm going to say that it's young Dick. I don't think the car's running properly. It sounds terrible.
I'm not actually the chauffeur. I'm the...
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm going with the chauffeur then. The car's
Sparko.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
I've been trying to learn, actually. I get, you know, when it's a big cognitive load when it's a new game, and it's so easy to, like, trying to build your character and listening to everyone at the same time. I'm trying to come in and out, like, really well to make it all right.
I understand.
I've
actually done a little notepad document with all the different names in, just to keep track of them.
Yeah, I always write stuff down, but it's helping apparently. Yeah, okay. So Spargo, the car sounds terrible. There must be something wrong with it.
Excellent.
Who among the family do you consider most important? I'm going to go with, because I'm going blind, and I've seen a few generations of this family. I probably think who's the head of the family?
That's Lord Aldecott.
Lord Aldecott, but I probably actually think that he's the previous Lord Aldecott.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And who among the staff requires additional supervision? Let's go with we'll go with young Dick, the valet, who's just because he's new, and we're in England, right?
Correct.
And Irish, obviously, as well.
To be sure.
All right, Lou, kind of for that second one there, he's Lord Blackwood is the family name. He's Aldecott, but you knew his father, who we're going to put down as Bertie.
Bertie, cool. Thanks.
All right. And that's our history questions set up. Oh, that's so very cool. All right, then. I'm going to give a quick rundown of the family, a little bit of what's going on, and then we'll be off at a foot. It's Christmas, and so the family has been welcoming in distant relatives And of course, they're preparing for all of their wonderful Christmas. They have a feast. By now, O'Malley, you've heard Lord Aldecott, who is very excited about his favorite part is the roast beast. I tell you, I love a good smell of a roast beast. It's the cutting into it that I love so very much. As he is expecting this grand piece of game that will be there for the feast. And you had heard down below stairs that this delivery had come with some difficulties. You've heard rumors that Cookie is not exactly pleased with what's happened with the roast beast. But so far you haven't gone downstairs to figure out the rumors of it. The feast will be held tomorrow night, so we have a day before that. We also have his wife, Daffodil. Daffodil is... she's a bit more concerned with how lovely the house is and make sure that everything's in its place. And she has been moving about the house, trying to fix up and put all the decorations up. But probably you there, Deacon, will have occasioned upon her, like combing through closets or looking in back rooms. And when you find her and, ma'am, she'll go, oh, goodness, I'm so terribly sorry. I must have lost myself. And running off. But she seems to be searching the house a bit. We have Bagatha, the oldest daughter. And Bagatha is of the impression, despite all indications from her maid, the way the family is reacting, she seems to believe she's pregnant. She is not married. And as far as you know, she's had no gentleman callers. But she's insistent that she is about to deliver here on this most holy of nights, despite the fact that there is no evidence whatsoever that she's pregnant. She's still quite thin and trim, but she is almost certain that the Lord has spoken to her and that she shall be delivering to us all a new Messiah. Young Ruprecht, the oldest son of the family, mopes around his rooms, mopes around the family, because he loved a girl once. She was ever so sweet, a lovely, sweet girl, Hortense. Loved her intensely. But about 6 years ago, she passed away under mysterious circumstances. Since then, he has sworn that, oh, Hortense, she speaks to me in my dreams. Oh, I'll never love again like I did with Hortense. And so he mopes around sadly through the house. Uncle Wicket gets underfoot here and there because he absolutely believes that this household, these people are strange. He is so unhappy that he's forced to live here. And whenever the staff talks about unusual occurrences in the house, this is all balderdash, I tell you. Not a bit of it's true. Why? This is just ridiculous. So he's kind of more of a nuisance to the staff than a family member, though occasionally he will puff up against, oh, how dare you, sir? I was fifth in line for the seat on this, at this barony. But in general, he's more of a nuisance than anything else. Our guests that have arrived, we have Mr. Crowley and Zelda, who are supposed to come and perform a seance for the family. They're all the rage down in London at the moment. And that is one of their intentions for part of the feast's entertainments tomorrow night. So far, the staff has discovered them to be reclusive. They don't leave their rooms much. But some of the maids swear they hear several voices inside of that room, more than just Zola and Crawley. And finally, we have the cousins, Mavis and Malbert. There is question even amongst the staff, and some say even amongst the family, whether or not they're a married couple or brother and sister. They tend to, when they visit the house, point out things that were part of, oh, Auntie blah blah always wanted me to have that. And oh, I thought Uncle Tom said that I should be having this with me, sorts of things. And have a habit of putting things in their pockets if they're not watched fairly closely. And finally, the guest kind of, the exciting guest of this is the actress Ditzy Slocum. Ditzy has had great success on the boards and is now getting a bit long in the tooth. And there are rumors amongst the staff that Lady Daffodil has brought her in, perhaps as a fine lady to bring Ruprecht out of his depression, maybe a lovely bit of company for him. And so that's our family. Here at Bedlam Hall, snow is spattering down. It's wet. There's sleet banging against the windows the night before Christmas Eve. Up in his dressing chamber, Lord Aldecott is with you, O'Malley. Dickie, I tell you, old man, I'm just not sure. I've been very interested in hearing how the roast beefst is going, but Cookie has refused to send me up even the tiniest little samplings of cracklings. It should have already been on a spit by now.
Indeed, my lord. Cook has never let us down in the past. I'm sure she has it well in hand. Which reminds me, my lord, do you wish me to set aside a specific outfit for the grouse shoot tomorrow?
Oh, well, I'd want my tweed, and, and the nice woolly socks. You know how my feet get.
Very, very good, my lord. Which of your sets of guns would you like to use?
Oh, well, I think we're probably going bird. I'll take the shotguns.
Very good, my lord. And the special loads you've been working on?
Oh, O'Malley. Yes. Let's do see if we can get a bit of an advantage this year. I think yes. Let's take a good stock of the special loads.
Very good, my lord. I will see to it straight away.
Thank you, O'Malley. I hardly know what I'd do without you, as he's struggling into a coat that you help put on. I imagine that Lady Blackwood shall be having breakfast very soon. I'll head down. If you'd be so kind, though, do check in on Cookie. I would ever so love a bit of a taste of the, well, it should be getting nice and fried fatty.
Very good, my lord. I will go and have a look straight away.
Good.
Can I just clarify here? Did you say roast beast or roast beef?
Roast beast.
Just checking.
Meanwhile, okay. You, Deacon, are at your station, checking, coming down. It's beginning of the day, so you've probably been checking out the staff to make sure everything's going appropriately. And you've already heard, coming from down towards the kitchens, that Cookie is not at all pleased. She is, in fact, in quite the tizzy.
Yeah, I definitely got to go sort that out.
Heading down, you pass into, there is the servants' dining area, and you're working on back towards the kitchens, a place that, of course, you're more than free to go to, but is considered a bit of Cookie's domain. She's a stout lady. You've always known her to be a very hard worker. She's older, in her late 50s, early 60s. but a fine lady, as far as you're concerned. What she manages to do with the food the family requests is almost miraculous, in fact.
What is her name?
You just know her as Cookie. Everybody calls her Cookie.
Okay. So what? I think I'll just quietly walk up and try to like get a feel for what's going on there, probably without being seen in a creepy butler kind of way.
Wonderful. Why don't we do then an everything in its place roll for you?
Cool. Is that the one where I get the extra?
It is. It works off of your move, and
Yes, it does.
Etiquette. You get to roll 3 and choose the 2 best.
Ooh, that was lucky. It's a do I add anything to it?
You will add your etiquette.
I got an 8.
Oh, that's not so bad. Okay, so do you see the question list there?
Where is it?
It'll be on your playbook. One of those pages will say expected duties. Those are all of your basic moves. And one of them is everything in its place.
Yes. Okay. Partial success. Ask 1. What is a trouble?
A trouble is when you have it can be the family, and that's something I'll mention here because some of your cruel moves work with it. The family all have troubles. Our family is extremely eccentric. They go in a stage of 3. When they're at their lowest, it's some little quirk. At the second level, they become more problematic for the staff of the family. At their third level, they could be, as an example, let's say Uncle Sam likes to stare at the fires. He enjoys fires. 2, he started lighting fires in odd places. Level 3, he's decided to start a fire and burn up his room.
Cool.
As an idea of how these troubles advance. But all of them have a trouble. Some of the situations of the house also have trouble. So you can apply it to like, what's a trouble going on in this room?
Cool. I think for now I'm just going to say, is something out of place in this room?
Yes. You, as you're looking into this kitchen, you could see that the big ice room, where they keep their cold foods, the door is open, and that there is a mess in there. Something very unlike Cookie normally. And you could see that she's over near the door going, I don't understand it all. I swear it was right here. And you see several of the cooks, the assistant cooks, some of the little scullery boys are busily bringing all of this stuff out of this vast ice room. And she seems really in a fluster.
I think that's when I confidently walk into the room, and I'm like, "What's going on here, Cookie? What's
Mr.
problem?
Deacon?
What's wrong?"
It's my lord's roast beast, sir. It was delivered yesterday. I took the receipt myself. And now, as she points back through, and as you follow her point into this room, at the back you can see a crate. It's probably about 5 foot long, maybe about 4 foot deep, and it has been busted open. But now it's not here, sir. It seems to have, someone seems to have come and taken it.
This is not good. I'm tempted to thrash Cookie, but I won't do that. I'll reserve that for later.
How very kind of you, sir.
Whose fault is this, I wonder? What's happened here?
She does say, I did find, and she points back through to the back where the door goes out to the carriage room where they'd have deliveries come, or the carriage yard where they'd have deliveries come in. And you can see that there is quite a mess where things have been sort of knocked off of shelves and the door itself is hanging catty-cornered. Says they must have broken in that way. And, sir, I don't think Bill's doing so well. And she points down the hall, and you can see there is a bit of blood coming from one of the little side chambers.
Damn it. I guess I'll go try look after this Bill that's bleeding all over the house. Make sure he doesn't get blood everywhere.
As you head back to the back, she was not kidding. Bill does not look well. He has had a massive slash that goes all the way down his chest and to the other side. And not well really means dead. Bill is no longer Bill. He is an ex-Bill.
I guess I move up to him and I'm picturing I've got some sort of stick that I think he moves quite well. He's not he's old, but he's much less frail than you would expect. I think it's more for show and for thrashing people. I think I kind of shove the body around a bit. I can't really. I make a bit of a show of investigating what's going on there, but I don't think I can really supersede I probably have to feel the wound, and I'm like, oh, I'd like to work out what's going on there.
You poke. He doesn't react, and as you reach out, you could feel he's horribly wounded, and probably bled out. He is one of the younger footmen, so he is a younger footman. It could be worse.
Yeah, I'm assuming servants die here quite often.
It is not completely uncommon. It is, however, very bad for this sort of thing to get out and embarrass the family.
I think I'll maybe can I is this the kind of house that has a system of bells and stuff for calling?
It does have a bell board.
I think I'd like to try who would I it's probably I guess I could try to call the chauffeur maybe and the valet, because I want to get the valet involved, because I'm kind of trying to mentor him, but the chauffeur could potentially get the body out of here, maybe.
Okay, can I enter the scene anyway at this point by any chance?
I think that's a marvelous time for you to have walked in. Yes.
I'll walk in with my breakfast tray that I had up in my room and put it down on the table. Thank you, Cookie. That was delicious.
Oh, thank you, Mr. O'Malley. She smiles slightly and blushes a bit.
Cookie, you outdo yourself all the time. Surely you do.
Oh, you're too kind.
May I ask, how goes the beast?
Oh, and you see her face just sort of collapse. How goes the beast? It seems to have gone that way.
Oh, it was that fresh.
I didn't think so. I mean, the crate, it was ever so firmly put together. I was going to pry it off today.
Oh, how disconcerting. I'm going to walk over to the ice room and have a look inside. And does it look like the crate's actually been broken from the outside or from the inside?
Let's do everything in its place on this.
Okay.
But as an early look, this crate has certainly been smashed a bit.
I was purposefully ignoring that because I knew I wouldn't really be able to see it.
Right.
I don't use roll for your party very often, so if you...
I'm sorry, a little quick on it. You there are 2 blues there that are sitting in the middle. If you'd like, you could just highlight each of them.
I've got a 9.
Okay, excellent. Oh, that's very good. You'll get 1 question on.
Okay. Was the crate broken from the outside in or the inside out?
You're pretty sure this thing was burst out of.
Oh. Cookie, could you rouse one of the pages and ask him to go get Mr. Johnson, the gamekeeper, please?
Yes. And she wanders off to get one of the boys to run out towards the gamekeeper. He does have his cottage out there in the gardens, a little beyond the house, and he rarely comes to eat with the servants. In fact, he's only you've seen him in the last 2-3 weeks. He's been missing, but he does have his own little cottage and wife, so it's not completely unheard of for him to be absent a while. As the boy goes running off. Meanwhile, I think that you, Deacon, were thinking of calling the chauffeur, since chauffeurs are, as far as you know, one of their main things is to pick up heavy stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so does the chauffeur arrive?
Spago, you've received a summons to the house from the butler.
Okay. I think I'm out in the garage, and I'm like furiously rechecking the underside of the car because I swear everything is working right and nothing's leaking out everywhere. But every time I pull the car back in, there's some weird new stain on the garage floor, and I don't know where they're coming from. I guess I hear the bell and I stand up and I sort of have time to wipe off my hands, but he's still like dirty under the fingernails and jacket off. I think shirt open. You can see his chest. He has a lot of chest. It's a lot of everything. But he heads inside.
When Deacon sees you, he's like, Why are you in the... Clean yourself up, man, before you come into the house like this. Like, anyway, you're about to get blood on you. Come in. We need to wrap this body up. Get one of the boys to help you get it out of here.
There was the bell. Do you want me to clean up before the blood, or... I'm sorry, blood?
I'm like, get this body out of here. Look. What's the guy's name again? That's
This is poor Bill. Poor Bill.
It's like, Bill's not feeling well.
Bill, I think Bill might need some help that we can't give him.
And why don't we have a direct the staff out of you there, Deacon? As you're trying to get Spago here to do a rather unseemly task. So you'll be rolling again with etiquette.
I'm using physical dice, by the way.
That's fine. I can look at that.
Pop up on the thing. And with etiquette. So I got that's a 12.
Good Lord.
Fantastic.
Yes, sir. Mr. Deacon, obviously, I'll just, in the garage, where should I... No, I'll figure it out. Yes, of course.
Yes, figure it out and then clean yourself up before you come back into the house.
All right. With that roll, by the way, you do have an option there, Patrick, if you did wish to do it, but you would lose the prestige. As it is, you're hauling up poor Bill.
Yeah. I mean, he's can't be that heavy. He's lost a lot of his liquid weight. So I'll haul him out to the garage.
All right. Where are you putting him?
Well,
you know, the cars in those days had big travel trunks on the back.
Yeah. So I think maybe like one that's gotten too beat up for the family to be seen driving around with on the back there. It's over in the corner. There are some other weird stains in that corner, anyways. So in there with a tarp over him, and we'll just close it, and I don't have to think about the fact that he's just over there in that chest right there.
As you close down the lid, you hear faintly coming from inside the box from someone you're absolutely sure is dead. You hear, "Oh, 'twas a terrible beast, sir. A terrible beast."
No, I don't know what you're talking. I start whistling to not hear the thing I'm not hearing.
Why don't you ignore the strange then for me? That is rolling with your composure.
All right, I have a little composure, I suppose. Not a lot, but just enough. That's a 7.
All right. You are, as you're shutting this down and you're preparing to lock it, you hear this and probably jump back and head away from it, not noticing that poor Bill's coat and part of his leg have gotten caught, and that the trunk is still open.
Ugh. I think probably in my distraction, I also do not come in clean the next time I come into the house.
Meanwhile, we had O'Malley, you had sent off a boy, and Deacon, you have sent off a different boy, as you guys are there in the kitchen. And anything, what would you like to do there, Gerwin?
I would like to sneak a glance at the actual recipe or receipt, as they used to call them, for the beast. His lordship had wanted cracklin, so I'm guessing it's vaguely porcine, or it tastes like pork.
You looking down, and she does have things laid out. She kind of has them pinned for her whole dinner, and of course there's lots of them. But as you scan across, you can see the roast beast has a kind of special spot where she's looking, and has said it, and that it is to be spit roasted. Would be going all the way through today, tonight, and into tomorrow to be ready. It mentions the things to marinate, the basting, but in each instance of where you would expect, the pork or whatever meat, it simply says the roast beast.
Okay.
And it seems as though perhaps maybe they get multiple different types that are to come in.
Cookie, I think I can get a good joint of pork for you for later on.
Oh, that would be marvelous. Oh, Mr. O'Malley, you don't know how much that would be a help.
Leave it with me. I'll see what I can do, lass.
Oh, you're so very kind and large, sir.
I'll pinch your bum and as I walk past, and I'll head out to talk to Sparta.
Oh, fresh, she says, but you can tell by the glow in her cheeks she's delighted with the attention. As you head out, Deacon, you've come back through the kitchen, and what are you doing?
I think I was actually standing in the doorway again when that interaction was going on, and I'm like, and I'm just kind of checking up on Deacon. I'm probably disapproving, slightly disapproving.
Oh, no, O'Malley.
I think Deacon's probably back on. He doesn't really know what's going on, and feels like he's like he heard O'Malley saying that he was taking care of the beast problem. The body's taken care of. I'm assuming the rest of the staff can clean up the blood. I guess I'm just on my rounds around the house again.
All right.
Trying to hold everything together.
Okay. You begin circulating through the house, keeping the staff to task. As you're moving about, you can hear some of the maids who are a little distressed. One of them, in butler fashion, you're sort of lurking just out of eyesight as you hear a couple of these maids going, "I tell you, she absolutely refuses to listen to sense. There's no way she is going to have a baby. She's not pregnant." The other goes, "Well, the thing is, I'm not going to tell her, and you're not going to tell her, and her mother refuses to tell her. What are we going to do tonight?" And they sort of gabble as they begin moving away. But you're once again reminded that poor Bagatha seems to have come to the decision that she is soon to enter into labor.
I guess I'm going to go visit her.
All right. You head through into the family quarters area and reach her door. Do you tap upon it?
Yeah.
She, yes, come right in.
Yeah, I walk into the room and I'm like, I just want to have a close look at her and see in my whatever way that I guess maybe it's more about the space that she's in. I'll use my butler superpowers to check out her room.
All right. Well then, yeah, give us an everything in its place then, if you'd like. As she says, "Oh, Deacon, how lovely to see you."
Jesus. Yeah, no, I totally failed. Even with my extra dice.
She says, "Deacon, I would like to ask if you would be so kind to make sure there's plenty of boiling water all throughout the day. I know that soon my time is coming. I'm taking to bed right now. Oof, oof, oof. I can feel it happening any moment now, Deacon."
I think while she's talking, Deacon's thinking back to the couple of other what do you call this type of pregnancy? There's actually a name for this
pregnancy.
Yeah, he's thinking back to the various other members of the family that have had hysterical pregnancies at Christmas over the years. And yeah, sorry, what were you going to say?
As you're thinking back over it, there have been a number of those, and only interrupted by the rather strange occurrence that happened in 1893, where it wasn't so hysterical after all. That was no proper baby. It chewed right through the bedstand.
Okay, that sounds dangerous. How will you deal with this shit? What does the poor old guy do? I'm not going to thrash her. That's because she's a...
I wouldn't recommend it. Get about yourself.
I guess I'm going to... I want to try influence her in some way.
Do you want to... They say she's not pregnant. Do you wish to try and see discover for yourself? Which, keep in mind, you touching the lady would be an unusual step. But, you could try and find this out for yourself, or you could try and convince her, "Oh, ma'am," or what are you thinking of trying to convince her of there?
I'm going to uncomfortably tell her the story that I just recalled about the demon baby and see how she, it was probably her, great aunt or something.
Yes. Oh, Deacon, do you think it might be? Oh, that would be just marvelous. Uncle Whatsit was always one of my favorite uncles.
And I think, I guess I need to take precautions for when this and if this demon baby arrives. Are there any, I don't know if I'm overstepping my mark. Is there anyone sane in this family? he thinks to himself.
Uncle Wicked is famous for disputing any oddnesses that occur, but he's just a total prig. You really don't want to deal with him. Other than that, maybe her mother, Lady Daffodil, is unique in her own ways, but maybe she could do something about this.
I'm going to there's a couple of things I want to do. I guess I'm gonna lock her in her room. I'm going to arrange for servants, I think, to humor. Maybe I'll go off and scold those other servants who were gossiping about her and make them go and humor her with hot water and stuff.
All right.
And then I'm off to talk to her mother, but that can all be happening, I guess, while some other scenes are going on.
Right. So what we'll do is have you, you're going to tell the staff, you're saying, go along with this and scolding them for spinning rumors. Why don't you direct the staff there real quick and see how well they're willing to go along with your ruse?
And
that's all.
It's an 11.
Oh my goodness, you are so good at this. All right. They said, of course, Mr. Deacon, we'll be sure to get everything prepared for the birth, sir. And you rise up a bit in prestige. Is that right? No, I'm sorry. They would lose prestige. But they, yes, sir, if that's what you say, sir. As they wander off, your hearing is so amazing at this point, you can hear them go, surely he doesn't really believe, just do what he says, as they head off to begin handling this.
I'm like, actually, come back here. I tell them, I'm like, there's a small chance that she may give birth to a demon baby.
Oh, sir!
I'm like, so just look out for that.
Yes, sir! And they go scuttling off. They look properly frightened. Downstairs, waiting for the boy to return with the groundskeeper. Spago, you've come out of the garage, and you can see that O'Malley is there waiting to hear back from the runner. The two of you here in the, basically the car park, the area there.
The courtyard, yep.
Yeah.
Oh, Richard, hi.
Please, Dick. Let's not be formal.
Oh, of course, Dick.
Spargo, is the car ready to go? We may need it on short notice.
I just finished checking it over. It's running fine. It's everything under the hood is working great.
Excellent. We've arranged a special event for His Lordship this year. Each year, His Lordship has roast beast as part of his celebrations, but I've looked into the traditions. Did you know it's traditional for the Lord of the Manor to actually hunt and catch the beast?
I'm sorry, are you saying beast?
It's the Antarctic phrase used in the traditional text.
Oh, yes, I'm obviously, yes, so he's going to, I thought, what was the delivery then?
That was the beast.
Oh, so now there's a hunt.
So it is one of the ancient traditions. It does not appear to be actually addressed in quite some while.
Well, I suppose I've never been on a hunt.
Don't worry. I'll show you what to do, and I'll put my hand round his shoulder. You'll be fine. Trust me.
All right, Dick. I'll trust you.
If you're good, I may even let you handle my firearm.
Oh.
As you're saying this, the boy comes running back, and he is just tearing up from the garden. Uh, uh, Mr. O'Malley, uh, I went looking for the gamekeeper, sir, and I tell you, his wife says he hasn't been in since last night. Apparently, they heard some sort of beast over in the Bakersfield Woods, sir. I'm sorry, Baskerville Woods, sir.
Very good, thank you. Spargo, you're on good terms with the locals, aren't you?
I try to be on good terms with everyone, Dick.
Would you be so good as to run into town and gather up a group of men to act as beaters for the hunt?
Yeah, there should be plenty around the pub at this hour.
Very good. I will go and inform his lordship that this year we intend to honour them with the traditional form of the celebration. This, of course, has been arranged by the staff to honour their family traditions.
Yes, because we respect their traditions so much.
Yes, indeed.
All right, Spago, you going to start up the Bentley and head into town?
Yeah, I'll finish getting dressed. Maybe make a vain attempt at the grease and blood. Let's see. I don't know. Would this take a go into town move, or do I? Yeah, probably. I'm gonna have to get permission from someone.
Probably, yeah. At the very least, probably Deacon.
Okay. Huh. Sorry, I was just looking at the move itself. I haven't taken any trauma yet.
No, sir. Give me time. All right, so you're...
So I definitely managed to talk my way into it. It's a 12.
All right, so is this part of your going to town move?
Yeah, there's...
Yeah, okay.
It's that's where I was saying I'm not sure, because it's about getting permission to take the afternoon off and go do it. Sort of being sent, I'm not sure. Sorry.
I would say probably that, let's see. You're rolling persuasion, you got a success on it. So you would be able to go up to, Lord Aldecott and, just say, sir, I'm taking the car, some sort of to him or to Deacon. But who would you have gone to? Any member of the family can approve this sort of thing, or Deacon.
I'm definitely not asking Deacon for permission to do things. No, I'll have gone to Lord Aldecott, because I do know how much he does enjoy having a car available to him, and I don't want him to be upset by going out and finding it not there.
All right, you going and looking for him. He's in his laboratory, which is kind of off the side of the house. They have learned progressively to make it further from the living quarters. And you see that he is busily mixing up some chemicals. And you see he has some empty shotgun shells beside him, where he seems to be preparing something to go into them. And he's carefully measuring out things as you come in.
Oh, my lord, I see you're already preparing for the hunt.
Yes, I think it's bird this year, he says, and as he turns around, he sort of spills stuff across things. It hits a flame. There's a poof behind him. It doesn't destroy anything, but it poofs up. Oh! Yes, don't mind that.
Oh, bird! You'd said. I'd understood it. Well, never mind. I'm sure. I'm sure O'Malley's talked to you about it already. I was just wanting to make sure it was a good time to head into town to prepare a little for that.
Oh well, yes, yes, of course, yes, you should do that.
I just didn't want you to be surprised by the car not being there. Is there anything in town you need me to look after?
No, I don't think so. I generally well, I don't keep up with exactly what we might need per se, but perhaps make sure we have wine.
Oh, certainly, my lord. Should that be screaming in that way is the best word I can think of?
He looks back over at the table. Ooh, I rather like that. And he will begin working some more. Ooh, can I get that working again?
Just
yes, take the car.
back away. It's all right. It's all fine.
You are heading into town. Take the car off, heading down the ruddy lane to the main road, past the gates. And as you begin heading to town, I need for you to make me a leaving the grounds roll. Go out on the grounds roll.
All right.
That would be fortitude.
I think this is go out on the grounds. I think is more walking around the grounds.
It's any time leaving the estate.
I'm just looking at the options and wondering how they're going to apply to driving into town.
I suppose really what it's going to be doing is opening up opportunities for you to have had some mishap in the process.
Okay.
I'll just adapt it to these things.
Oh, thanks, something extra. That was super helpful. I really needed that one. But that's what is that? Fortitude? Oh, I'm bad at fortitude. That's a 7 though.
All right. As you head into town, and say you were going to the pub to bring up some beaters.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Arriving there, of course, it's the day before Christmas Eve, so a lot of people are enjoying a bit of the early spirit, and there are a crowd around. And as you begin suggesting this, did you bring any sort of payment or offer of payment to them?
Well, his lordship did say something about wine being transported in the car, and he wasn't terribly clear about which direction to or from the house that transport should take.
I see.
So, I mean, we can't just ask these men to come in and do this for free. It's nearly Christmas Eve, after all.
All right, so you're going to spread a little wine around and offer them the opportunity to come be beaters and enjoy the Lord's largesse afterwards?
Yeah, they'll probably get like third go at the scraps, leftovers, and cast-offs from the meal.
All right. As you're promising this, and these gentlemen are like, all right, we're going to be eating up at the big house. That's going to be wonderful. Oh, we're going to have some of the Lord's ale, as they're saying all of this.
Big house. But yeah.
You secure that they're going to come up this afternoon, early afternoon, to prepare for beating and going out hunting this afternoon. But as you leave, we'll have our little camera as you wander off, focus in. One of the maids is standing there, and she's overheard you promising the Lord's various hospitality, as well as watching you having handed out some of the household wine.
I want to try and chat up and get some questions out of these locals while I'm plying them with alcohol as well.
All right.
So it's my friends with the locals move.
Excellent. Roll away.
Good Lord, that's a 13.
Oh my.
So that's 3 questions. Wow. What suspicion have the locals been forming about the house?
In general, they often talk about the oddnesses of the Blackwoods. So it goes without saying. You've heard many odd rumors there. And they speak now of You know, that the Lord himself is probably doing some sort of infernal experiment. Things explode up there. You've heard that a wealthy and famous lady is going to be coming into town. There's rumors she may be a member of court, or that she might actually even be some sort of vaudevillian sort of actress.
You know, one or the other.
One or the other. They're a little more excited that she's an actress, actually. But you're also hearing that they've heard about a delivery that went in there that came from up to the north, down from the highlands, came down. And they've kind of heard that some sort of enormous box crate was sent down. And the rumor is people could hear noises from within the crate, within the box, and that a couple of them swear, you could see fur, sir. Fur, I tell you. It was like a wolf.
If only they knew. How has a member of the staff been acting suspiciously lately?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
I think you've probably heard from, because this is coming from these people in the town giving you this information.
My good buddies at the pub.
They're telling you that when they make deliveries, and when they come, people who come to the front door, that they're able to pass off fake things to Deacon. That they come and deliver mail that isn't really mail, has no addresses. You can walk up and just hand him an empty envelope and he'll still pay you.
Huh. And let's see. I guess who recently gained a secret in the household? Who's got a new secret or trouble?
Well, you know about Bagatha already. This whole idea that she's pregnant. But you also have began hearing, or hear a few of them mentioning that Lady Daffodil has been keeping an eye out for when deliveries arrive, and will sometimes come herself and ask people what was sent, what has come with the mail. And she seems to be looking for a particular package.
All right. So that's sort of my afternoon with the guys.
All right. And so you've set yourself up for having these beaters come in. We're figuring our hunt. I think I'd said that later this night, but I believe it would be the next day. It'd be Christmas Eve. So we have the hunt preparing up. Yes, Gary? You're muted, dear.
That was originally the case, but I've fabricated this hunt of the great beast, Hol's cloth, to try and cover the fact that it's not cooked and it's got away.
So when did you tell Spago to have these beaters ready, I guess, is the big question.
For this afternoon.
For this afternoon. All right.
Yeah.
So Spago, I guess as you're heading back, these guys will be coming too. You probably don't want them in the car. So you have them, they're heading up the road behind you. So you'll return back to the house well before them.
Okay.
Excuse me.
That's quite all right. So you get back to the house. Meanwhile, we've had, I think probably with you getting back to the house, it's 9:30. Why don't we take us a 5-minute and get a bio break in? Because we're about halfway through, if not a little over. Let's do a bio break real quick, and then we'll have our hunt and probably have that tail into the big Christmas holiday. All right, so let's do 5 minutes, and I'll see y'all back shortly.
All right.
Okay.
Lou, it's so awesome that you joined in with us. I love playing with you.
Oh, cool. Thanks. I'm feeling a little bit shy today. I'm not doing very much in character talking, but I'm having a really fun time.
Good.
Last time, still kind of learning to do that a little bit. I've always been a little bit like describe what my character says and does, but I'm starting to get better at it. And yeah,
I think you're lovely to play with all the time, and I'm so glad to get to play with you, Gearwin, as well. I'm so looking forward to your WWW. I can't wait to play.
I love the game. It's currently my favorite role-play system. I just wish I could find people to play with locally. I've got so many role-playing friends that like wrestling and just can't get them to play.
That's insane.
It's a hard sell because most of my friends are like, oh, wrestling. But I think anybody who plays it could get right into that game. It's just such a good game.
I'll put it this way. There's a group of role players that I'm friends with. Until I started my job, we'd meet up once a month for the WWE pay-per-views. We'd go in and watch them. We all watch Lucha Underground. I'm trying to get them into New Japan, and they're huge marks. They're smart marks, but I cannot get them to play the game. If I had any hair left, I'd be tearing it out.
I can't understand how a fan wouldn't want to play. I mean, God.
I just bought the game the other day, so I'm reading the rules at the moment. I was into wrestling as a kid, like Hulk Hogan and Junkyard Dog, like big wrestling era, but I got back into it a bit recently because, the band The Mountain Goats have that awesome album called Beat the Champ. It's pretty much, it's a whole album about wrestling, like in the 80s in Texas. It's really good. You should listen to it.
I'm actually hoping I get to play again at some point. I loved Lowell's game. I felt a bit guilty about playing a gimmick that had overwhelming numbers as they're effectively super move, but
it was so cool though.
It was all just story. But yeah, I fucking love that game, and I have never at any point in my life liked or watched wrestling. But god damn it, I love that game.
Yeah, and Patrick and I just had our anniversary recently, and that was my first Powered by the Apocalypse game. He gave it to me for my anniversary last year. It's my intro to both Powered by the Apocalypse and honestly Gauntlet is WWE.
Cool.
All right. So we have yes, sir.
Sorry, before we begin, I actually want to use one of my moves if I can.
All righty.
I've got a move which is behind the scenes assistance. Gain prestige when you successfully protect someone's secret from becoming revealed. I've reframed the beasts getting loose as a great traditional hunt by saving the actual cook's secret that the beast got away.
I think that's an excellent use of that move. Bravo. Yeah, take that.
Thank you.
Well done. Okay, so we have Spago arriving back to say the beaters are on the way. We have, right now, Deacon, you have been upstairs dealing with the various parts of, the staff. We know poor Bagatha. But as you're heading down one of the halls, you can hear someone rummaging through one of the closets. And as you get close enough, you can definitely smell Lady Blackwood's perfume. You hear her, "It's got to be here somewhere. I know it's here somewhere."
I'd quite like to just suddenly be like right next to her, spooky butlering. I'm like,
all right.
Can I help you?
Oh,
Lady Daffodil.
Yes, there should be a package here. A package that was meant for me. It may be wrapped gaily, or it may still be in its brown paper, but it will most definitely be about this big and will be addressed to me. Why is it not here yet, Deacon? Where is it?
What's in the package? What are you expecting?
Deacon, that seems presumptuous to ask what a lady is expecting. Would you like to try and get it out of her? Why not?
Yeah, sure.
Why don't we do a guide their direction to see if you can pull this information out of her?
Jesus, I seem to be roll good when I'm bossing the staff around and bad every other time, so that's kind of a nice tie-in with the storyline. I've rolled a 5. What do I add to it?
You will add your persuasion.
Which is 1.
Just as a note, because you do start with extra, you can spend prestige 1 for 1 to bump up your die result.
Oh yeah, this seems a good time to use some of my extra prestige. I'll do that.
All right.
The other note is prestige is sort of like audience in Worldwide Wrestling. If you get down to 0, you're in danger of being fired.
They'll never fire me.
It also can be when you get into that 0 prestige, they'll put you into situations where it's not so pleasant as well. So you're spending 1 to take it up to a 7?
Yeah, and then so 7 to 9 they consider your suggestion, but will follow it under certain circumstances.
All right. She says,
and there's some other options there too.
She goes, well, you see, Deacon, it's much like this. You see this, and she'll begin pulling out some boxes of various shapes. She's to get her to reveal what is in there. You're probably going to have to let her know that you can't see.
Okay.
Wants to know one of your
can
one
I
of your secrets.
Yeah. Can I accidentally let her? Is that how it can come out in the story? Like do I actually have to tell her?
No, you don't actually have to tell her. No. Right. Yeah. You can frame
I think she'll probably just realize, like, I'm asking her to hand me the boxes and I'm like feeling them, and if she's paying attention at all, she's going to notice what's happening.
Deacon, oh, my dear chap, have you gone to see maybe about getting your glasses changed?
Well, what do you mean?
Well, Deacon, you have twice now grabbed my elbow, and once you tried to slide the ring right off my finger.
I think he just looks I think he doesn't normally look, he's normally very like stoic, but I think you see a blush rising in his pasty old white skin, and he's like I think maybe he's even shaking, like this is, I think, the first time his secret's like out a little bit. I think maybe he also just drops whatever box he's currently feeling. It probably smashes.
It drops, and you do, in fact, hear a clunk, 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 clunk. He goes, oh, Deacon, no. She pats you on the hand. Deacon, there'll always be a place for you here. Don't worry. We will always need, chamber pot scrub. Don't you worry one bit, my dear boy. You'll be fine here. Perhaps if you could help me, have you heard anything that has perhaps meowed, or given a loud shriek, or sounded like it was extraordinarily hungry?
Well, there was that. No, wait, I'm not meant to tell them about the dead servant. Goes to tell them about the dead servant downstairs, and one this creature might have. He's like, no, wait.
Yes, go ahead.
No, you're right. I'm going to once she gives me whatever this, she's giving me the job of looking for a thing. Cool. Yeah. I also want to try change the subject onto her daughter and what's going on with her daughter, to try get it off me not being able to see and looking for this dead cat in a box.
She goes, I tell you, it's my dear Bagatha's gift. I have found the most exquisite Egyptian cat. It was supposed to have been delivered days ago. I fear it's been put away in a closet with the other gifts.
I'll do my best to find it, but I think you should go speak with your daughter. She's you remember your aunt that gave birth to your strange cousin, the one we don't talk about.
Cousin Whatsit. Oh my, he does have the most abominable table manners.
Well, it seems perhaps maybe Bagatha is in a similar situation. Do you think so?
Oh, goodness, Deacon, that can't possibly be true, is it? Oh, my Lord. I suppose I could check in on the dear girl. I've often thought I should give her, the talk about, the bats in the belfry or the children in the birds, or some sort of thing. My mother tried to do it once. She said, lay back and think of England.
Deacon doesn't want to hear this. He's like, oh my God, this fucking family. My whole life.
I've wasted my life. She says, all right, Deacon, I'll have a word with her. You check every closet. Every one of them. It is quite an expensive kitty, I'll tell you that. And it is said to be quite remarkable. Its eyes glow.
Fuck. Deacon wanders off to get some staff to help him with the searching for this thing, and I think he's probably mumbling whatever the term in this day and age is for "I'm too old for this shit." Whatever they were saying. Maybe this is when the term was invented. He's like, "I'm too old for this shit."
So as you begin heading off to organize this cat search, Lady Daffodil has moved off to consult with her daughter, who is at the moment arranging for hot towels to be brought in, and the maids, finding no better use of them, have kind of put them and stacked them up underneath her head. That's kind of what they're doing with them now. Meanwhile, O'Malley, I suppose you need to be getting the Lord ready for the hunt.
Indeed. Indeed. Sorry, let me put my accent on there for a moment. To be sure. There you go. I'm right in the place now.
All right.
Your Lordship.
Oh,
May I have a moment, please?
Of course. I've been packing new shells. I think they're going to be excellent tomorrow.
Well, I have a surprise for you, Your Lordship.
Oh, I like a surprise.
We've been looking through the tomes of the family traditions, and we've actually found one that's not been observed in a while, and the staff have got together, and we've actually arranged for you to be able to fulfill this as in the traditional way of your family. Did you know that the great beast originally was hunted by the head of the household?
You know, that's me, O'Malley.
Indeed, my lord. And I'll reach into the, I'll uncover the actual shotguns that I've brought out. And indeed, my lord, and we've prepared a hunt for you, my lord. And in fact, it's traditional for the heir to come along as well.
Oh, Rubric with a gun. Really? You think that's a good idea, O'Malley?
I said come along. I did not say to actually have weaponry, sir.
Oh, good thinking, O'Malley.
But it may help him out of his malaise. The fresh air?
That's a very good idea. Oh, Dickie, I don't know what I'd do without you. Oh, my gracious. I shall be fulfilling an old tradition, taking the boy out in the air, hunting our food. Ha! What? That is just grand.
Indeed, my lord. Merry Christmas.
Oh, O'Malley. And he will allow you to begin putting him into, take him back to his dressing room and getting him into his hunting togs. He calls for Lord Rupert's valet. O'Malley, if you would, let the boy know. Let the boy know. And as he's getting prepared, this valet goes, all right, what's going on?
We're obeying a family tradition.
You know that little prick won't want to go out.
I know, but I also know that he needs to get some fresh air. And this will do him some good.
Do him some good. He's a right layabout, is what I'd say. Hardly a thing he wants to do at all.
You do realize that traditionally on the hunt, the valet carries the lordship's and the heir's liquor supply?
That's excellent. Why don't we roll us direct the staff there? That's a lovely use there.
Okay, I keep on forget. Do I
you'll be rolling etiquette?
Yeah. Okay, so that's 2d6.
Correct.
And do I re-roll selected?
Yeah, you can click on each one of those center dice to highlight them, and then the green button re-roll selected.
Got the 10.
Oh, fantastic! He's like, all right, I know that a hunt ain't his right thing, but I think I could get the young master to come along. You say, I'll have the brandy, right?
The brandy and the port.
Oh. You're a good man, O'Malley.
I believe it's tradition to take some cigars as well.
Oh, definitely a good idea. I could use a little outing myself.
Indeed.
All right.
Do you fancy a wager on who's going to act on how many shots it's going to take down the beast?
You say we're going after a beast?
We're going after the beast. The traditional Christmas beast. The beast.
And these lots are the ones shooting?
Yes.
20. It'll take 20 shots before even one of them will hit a thing.
I believe his lordship is a better shot than that, sir. Sorry, I'm not doing the accent. Let me...
It's okay.
I believe his lordship's a better shot than that, sir. In fact, I'm willing to put money behind it.
Your own, O'Malley. Less than 20?
£5.
Done. He shakes with you as he heads off to prepare poor Lord Rupert to go out amongst this.
I wouldn't mind perhaps Deacon like seeing the valet trying to get Rupert out of the room and Deacon like aiding that in some way. I think that'd be
all right
when we but I don't unless
Sorry. Also, as an aside, we're going to have dinner out there, so the butler's going to need to come along with food.
Cool.
So we'll all be in the scene.
I just had a fun little idea of Deacon like walking down the hall and seeing the Rupert's valet kind of trying to like get him to come out of the room, and Deacon walking up with just getting his like keys out and opening up, and like he's walking straight into the room. Yeah.
The valet's like, sir, I tell you, please, just open the door. As you step up and open it up, inside you'll see young Lord Rupert, and he is in his still in his like dressing gown, and you can see he's over there just crying away next to a whole set of pictures. she's not conventionally pretty. One might even say she's not even unconventionally pretty, is the pictures of Hortense. But our young Lord Ruprecht has certainly fallen for her, and her memory haunts him still as he's crying, "You know, the holidays are always so hard on me."
So Deacon kind of bustles into the room, and he's like, he's going to get the two like Blackwoods confused. He's like, "Wake up, young Aldecott. Your father wants you to get ready for the hunt. We're hunting the beast." He's like, "Wake up," and he's like grabbing some clothes and is kind of shoving him with the stick to. He's like, "Wake up." He's like, "Wake up, bed boy."
Oh, Deacon, and you get the impression that probably since you've been around so long, he's used to you kind of yelling at him, and from his youth, he sort of jumps. The valet is rushing up to him. "Oh, Deacon, Father wants me. I always like when Father wants me."
Aww. I'm like, "Get dressed. You're going on a hunt."
Why don't we roll a guide their direction real quick then?
Plus persuasion. I got a 9.
Very good. Deacon, if I'm going to see Father and you say we're going on the hunt, you'll be there, won't you, Deacon? You always make me feel so much more safe. It's a little like the whole house is around me when you're there. You're musty and such.
It's musty. Deacon decides to take that as a compliment. He's like, "No, I'll be there. I'll be there, Aldecott."
Ruprecht. It's Ruprecht. And the valet says, "Of course it is, sir. Of course you are. Come along." As you imperiously stalk out. Meanwhile, Spargo, you've brought the car back in and have parked in the garage, and you could see coming up the road, kind of in a festive spirit, these town folks arriving to be beaters.
I parked mostly in the grace, very close to in the garage. There was a lot of convincing that had to happen.
So you've had a bit of a drink yourself, eh?
A little bit.
So much so that you backed a little askew into the garage, maybe?
It's just slightly crooked. It'll be fine. I'll fix it later.
You heard a slight bump, but you're sure it's fine.
No, it's good. What could I run into? There's nothing bad in there. Nothing at all. Nothing.
You get out of the car, you see these townsfolk coming in, and they are easily as intoxicated as you are. And they're cheering, "All right, we're going up. It's going to be wonderful." And they brought a lot of folks. You see that there are women and children who've also come along to enjoy the festivities here at the big house.
It's a party. It's the holidays. We wanted to make it a special ancient tradition, and just the whole town, they're gonna special all over
it. As they come into the place, Cookie is inside and trying to work on this pork which she had arrived, which was very good. But you see,
when I said pork, I meant the other white meat.
Are you looking at William there, or poor Bill?
Oh, Bill, yes.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
So, is there more of a hollow, empty thunk when I hit something in the garage?
Oh, lovely. So there is a very nice smell coming from the kitchen as something is on the spit, busily working away. Oh, oh, that's awesome. And as these townsfolk get in here, the women have started setting up little picnic blankets around. They've started a fire or two and are cooking here in your courtyard. As you, O'Malley, are bringing down the Lord, behind you is the rest of the household, including Ruprecht, that will go on the hunt. They've managed to convince Mr. Crowley to come along, though he says, I don't really shoot. And also, both Cousin Mavis and Cousin Malbert have arrived and seem very fond of the guns.
Are we able to tell the difference?
No one, they always talk about them collectively, so none of y'all have been very particular which is which. No.
Well, of course, that it's winter. We're going out on the grounds and bundled up. It's just really hard to tell.
I'm going to cast an eye over the nephews, the cousins, sorry. And I would actually like to use one of my moves as well, which is the gentleman's gentleman.
Excellent.
You in a person in the household, either family or staff. Roll etiquette, and then I get to ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
So I will re-roll these and muck up this roll now. And yes, I did. That'll be a 6. So I will spend 1 prestige to bump that up to a 7. And the question I will ask is, what have they been doing in the past hour?
Oh, that's excellent. As you're looking them over, and they seem quite excited to be getting a hold of these guns, and they have a bit of a feverish look in their eye. You're also hearing rumors that one of the maids hasn't reported in, and already the housekeeper is saying, oh, another one has run off right here when all of this is to be done. And as they hear that she's run off, both of them crack a little bit of a smile and look at each other and look back at the guns and sort of rub their hands together. You think they may have a young maid tied up in their room.
Okay. My lord, before we go, there's just one last thing I need to see to. If you'll excuse me for but one moment.
All right.
I will.
You're gonna head up and look.
I'm gonna head back quickly. I'm going back to get his lordship's hunting horn.
You head back up to the family areas, the family quarters, and I'm taking it you're going to check in on the cousin's room.
Yes, I am.
As you come in, you can see that they have been quite busy in here. There are strange statues of, those aren't the saints, not with that many tentacles. You see they have black candles that are all situated around, and you see one of the maids trussed up firmly with a gag on her mouth going,
okay. Well, if I let her free, she's only going to tell people, let it out. So I'm going to close the door and ignore the. I'm going to play to my loyal. I'm going to close the door and ignore the strange.
Ignore the strange. Roll that up for us.
Oh dear.
That's composure.
And that's a 10.
Oh, very nice. You shut this door, and you may ask a question about this situation if you'd like.
Yes, by all means. I'm sorry about this. I'm not used to the game, so I need to...
It's a flat out, it's not even a list of questions. You could just ask a free-form question, whatever you'd like there.
Okay. Was the maid pregnant?
It would have been a horrible scandal for the household to have found out, but indeed.
Okay, then I'm on the way back. I'm going to stop by the cousins. My lord, my lady, may I have a word, please?
Of course, they say, and swing to you in unison.
I'll take them over into one of the arches. Your entertainment tonight. We may be in her ladyship, the young. I can't remember her name.
Bagatha.
Lady Bagatha believes that a child is on the way. If you should happen to find hear of any young ladies that may be with child and may not be in a position to actually keep the child, would you be in the position to help Lady Bagatha have her child tonight?
Oh, we would so love to help us, dear cousin. Why, yes, I think we might, they say again in unison.
Thank you. I'm sure his lordship will remember you fondly for it.
Yes, thank you, O'Malley. You're a fine, fine member of this household.
Indeed. I'm going to pass them the key to their room.
All right.
You may wish to get your your winter coat before we leave.
Yes, it's quite chilly, quite chilly. Off they head back in that direction.
Well, that's one problem solved.
Wow.
So manipulative.
Pardon?
What was
So
that?
manipulative. I said so manipulative. It's awesome.
I took loyal as my behavior, so.
That's phenomenal. All right.
And can I
yes,
actually pay? Can I get a prestige for preventing someone's secret coming out as well?
Yes. Yeah, you can do that. That comes off of your boot. Yes, you can.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. We have the beaters in the yard. The hunting party is prepared. You, of course, are expected to go there, O'Malley, and you, Deacon. Ruprecht has asked particularly that you come. There is, the taking of all of the food and such like. So you probably are assembling folks that can help carry everything. Spago, one of those folks that pops to mind for you?
For who?
Deacon.
Sorry, what was the question?
I'm sorry. You're hauling out the food and such like, since Rupert's asked to make sure you come and you're bringing all the refreshments. There'll have to be boys to carry this. Is Spago one of those that you would probably give a yell to?
Yeah, I think I probably head out there and to where the car is, and I'm gonna he'll be expected to drive the car out to where we're going, so or nearby, hopefully, so that food will be there, or maybe set up somewhere near where we'll be.
That's very clever to haul the things over there using the car. Very nice. Spago,
but also, how's Spargo looking? Is he all ship shape?
He's holding it together mostly. He's put a coat on, and you can't see most of the stains, and he's definitely standing pretty close to straight up.
I think Deacon's Spargo, the entire family and all of their guests will be at this hunt. You need to be dressed properly, and I think he whacks his walking stick into the door frame, and turns his back on you and goes to walk off.
Oh, yes, Mr. Deacon, of course. Before you leave, his lordship did have some very important final instructions for you. Here, put it in this letter. Of course, I wouldn't know what they are, but I hand him a blank piece of paper.
Yeah, he opens the thing up, opens the envelope up and looks at it and pretends to read it.
He wanted
he's
to
like,
make sure you took care of that as soon as possible.
He's like, yes, very good. I'll take care of it. Yeah. I think he like says under his breath loud enough for you to hear it. He's like, idiot, as he like walks off.
Are you attempting there to Patrick to confirm suspicions?
Yes. So that's a persuasion. That's a 10.
Ooh. All right. Your suspicion is, I believe, that Deacon is blind.
Yes. It's what I'd sort of heard from people in town or picked up from them.
And I believe, Deacon, you can confirm that is true?
Yep.
And so you may mark that now as a secret that you have confirmed. All right. And so with the party assembled, and you can see Lord Aldecott is moving around. He's going, oh, my. O'Malley, we brought the whole town. This is quite a tradition, isn't it?
Yes, my lord. And should we start the hunt? The hounds are ready.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I do love a tradition, even if it does bring many people to the house.
Well, I didn't expect quite so many, your lordship. I think this obviously must be a tradition they've been eager to see revived for quite some time.
Oh, well, it's all about being good for the whole neighborhood, good for the community.
Indeed, my lord. And what's good for the house is good for the community.
And so as we set off back through the gardens and heading over to Baskerville Wood, I know we had a break just a moment ago, but I absolutely must take a bio break real quick. So I'll take 3 minutes and I'll be right back.
I'm going to get another beer.
Oh, so tired.
I miss it now, like 3.
It's 3:20. When I signed up for this, it said it was on Thursday, so I was thinking it was tomorrow night.
Oh no.
Of course, it was on Thursday. It started at 1. It's Thursday here now. Oh, such a mistake. But so much fun.
Yeah, I appreciate you sticking it out.
Oh well, it makes a change. At least I'm saving the baby this time rather than my normal trick in game.
I think this is the 4th session I played of this game, and it's hilarious. I love this thing.
I love the setting. There was because we've got a lot of country houses over here. There was a LARP game that ran based on a manor house.
Oh, neat.
And I so kicking myself for missing it, but they literally hired a proper manor house and had the full run of it for the weekend. And
that sounds super neat.
I don't think I could quite take the spirit to it, but
that was hard work. Those folks that were servants at those houses, that was enormously hard work.
Yeah, very much so.
All right.
The old hotel that my mum lives in has like the it's like not super. It's like 160 years old or something, which is really old for Australia in terms of like European buildings.
Like America, we don't have old either.
Yeah, but it's got all the servants like like stairways and stuff out the back of there, and a couple of little servants like corridors, and they look so like they're so skinny and dingy and gross, like, and the front stairways are like all nice and wide and everything.
That's so cool.
Have you
Good.
have you seen Upstairs Downstairs, the TV
Me?
show? Yeah.
I watched that the newest one that came on. The remake.
Yeah,
they did.
The place where it's set, Belgrave in London, is only about 10 minutes walk from the main bus station, main coach station.
Oh.
So I had a 3-hour layover at one point, and I went round every street in that area trying to find that house.
Oh, cool.
It's in a different place in reality, but the actual address doesn't exist.
But you did manage to find it?
No, I couldn't find it. It didn't exist. I wandered up and down that road for must be 2 hours trying to find it.
I love that. I love those stories. I love those upstairs, downstairs type stories. Such a big. I'm a big fan of British period pieces, period. But I really love that Edwardian and Victorian era stories. Those are so marvelous. All right. We have the hunting party heading out, and we are heading into the wrap-up of our session. So as we head across the gardens and out into the woods, the beaters are out ahead of us, and these are people who have not been called out to work the hunt in quite a long time. This is a lost tradition, this Lord going a-hunting. And so they don't really understand the entirety of how to do it properly. We have a lot of drunken shouting, and there's not a lot of organization to try and beat back towards his lordship. There's really just groups of people out there smacking at trees and beating at brush. Their families have also kind of followed along behind the hunting party. They're also having a good time, as well as part of the household who's gotten all interested in this very, oh, how wonderful, we're all doing this. They're trailing along behind as well. Ruprecht has almost certainly insisted that you, Deacon, keep close to him. So after having set up the refreshments area and directed the staff to be prepared for when they come back from hunt, Ruprecht and his valet have you there with them as they are heading off towards their stand. O'Malley, you are, of course, with Lord Aldecott. And Spargo, they have put you with Uncle Wicked. And so you're carrying his guns. He doesn't rate a valet, but he does have a footman who is coming along with him. And you and the footman have limited knowledge, I imagine, of how best to load and hand your guns in a hunt.
I can figure it. I mean, there's the round end goes forward, and you put the little things in there. It's fine. It's good.
All right. And so y'all are kind of split a bit. You can see each other moving across. You can see by now they've got lights up, lanterns going, and they're beating. As it's rather late in the day for a hunt. The sun is getting lower. There's sleet going on in the snow, but tradition can see through that. And as we head through into the woods, O'Malley, Lord Aldecott goes, this tradition, Dickie. You say I need to be the one who shoots it, right?
At least the first shot, my lord, yes.
And what sort of beast are we looking for?
The beast, my lord.
Oh, well, then that should be very distinctive.
Yes, my lord. May I suggest if you are going to open up with the first shot, you may want to put on a show. Maybe one of the special rounds.
Oh, Dickie, you're right, brilliant. And he reaches into his pouch and brings out these fairly misshapen and overstuffed shotgun shells. Yes, load here. Yes, this will be just
Can only end well.
Do you load these in?
I load them in, and then I hand him one of the other guns.
Very good. Meanwhile, Deacon, you, the valet, and Ruperic's stomping along, going, "Oh, Deacon, I don't know if I like the woods very much. They're always ever so dirty. I mean, it's sort of their defining feature is all the dirt."
Buck up, Eldercott. This is part of what you need to learn when you're the Lord in the future.
Well, yeah, I'm Rupert, Deacon. It's me, Rupert. Remember, you used to dry my tears. I mean,
yes, that's right. Eldercott Rupert. Yes, Rupert's your middle name. Come on, boy.
Yes, sir. As he seems sort of cowed, and this valet has got this look of, oh my lord, what is going on here? As you tromp through the brush, Spargo, you are with Uncle Wicket as he has just reached the edge of the wood, and he goes, "This is wholly inappropriate. I just don't see any reason for us to be out here. Spargo, is that you?
My lord.
Did you happen to bring a bit of drink?"
Yes, I think. Who's the other servant here?
It's a footman. You could, George.
I think young George here has some in the basket, don't you? There.
Yes, sir. He pulls out a bottle of wine. He also has a flask there, and his Wicket looks at the flask, boy, the flask, and he takes a big slug out of it. You got the impression this is not the first drink of his day.
I'll bring out a flask as well and sort of toast him to an interesting hunt. And I really don't like Uncle Wicket, and I really don't want to be stuck here taking care of him all evening. So I'm going to go ahead and use my cruel move of Turn of the Screw and go ahead and just ramp his trouble up to 11 and then try and extricate myself while getting young George stuck with him.
Oh, that's lovely. And so, as you're standing here and he's drinking, this all should have been mine. I was supposed to be the Lord. He, Aldecott, nasty little bastard, never liked him one bit. I should be the Lord. And as he,
that's funny, George. Weren't you saying that Lord Wicket's claims were totally false, and that Lord Aldecott had all right and responsibility to this house, no matter what anyone said? George, wasn't that what you were saying to me earlier?
No, sir. No, sir. That was what I said. Says George, as I'll show you. Lord of the house gets the beastie. Give me that, and that too. And he grabs two of the shotguns, puts them up on his shoulders so that they're sticking up a bit beyond his head, and begins tromping into the woods, going, I'll tell you, I'll tell you.
George, I think it's only right that you need to go and clean up the mess that you have obviously made here. So you go look after Mr. Wicket there, and I'll go look into finding you some backup and some assistance. I'll be right back. Don't worry.
Why don't you roll that direct staff? Let's see how well you do there.
It's going to be amazing. I'm obviously awesome at this. Oh, God, that's a 12.
You are good.
This staff is eminently directable.
He goes, "Sir, that's just right unkind, it is." As he heads into the woods, you're losing a prestige for sending this poor boy into this.
What? I did amazing.
I'd kind of like for Deacon to have overseen this exchange, if it's at all possible.
You could have, and you were. I'm sorry, Patrick. You're right. You gained one there, didn't you? You
No.
rolled. Oh, I'm
No.
sorry. That's Guy's direction. I'm so sorry. It would be they would lose a prestige. I am so terribly sorry. You're right. You don't lose one. As he goes, you're right on fair. Deacon, you are there to. You and Rupert and his valet are kind of moving across, and as you see this, hear this going on, you've kind of split over towards their direction. Rupert and valet are continuing into the woods.
Yeah, I think Deacon's if he's pissed off at seeing Spargo like being all manipulative. You know, he's lost his, like, that's what Deacon used to be like that. Like, he was able to, you know, work the household like that, and I think he's jealous and doesn't like the way that Spargo looks or acts or smells, talks. So I'm
personal.
Are we right in assuming that he assumes that he doesn't like the way that Spargo looks?
Yeah. So I'm gonna try thrash. Walk up and just start thrashing.
I'm there to take another drink from the flask.
Just completely and just out of the blue, like walk up and start thrashing him.
All right, Deacon. Clearly, that blur there is most offensive, and so. What do you say anything, or is it just you straight up and just start laying about him?
I think he's like, I told you to tidy yourself up and don't speak to a member of the family in that way. This is not part of your job.
Jesus, what the hell's wrong with you, old man?
Spargo, you've taken 3 trauma as the old butler has come up and just started smacking you about.
I think it's probably also I think he's like off screen gotten somebody to look at the letter that he was given. He's like, hey, what does this say? And they're like, that's a blank piece of paper. So it's that. I think that's part of the justification for it as well.
All right, so a little out here in the woods justice. You have lay about for Spargo. That's a good whooping 3 trauma there.
Can I just point out that when we go hunting, that's not what we mean by beaters?
As this is happening, Lord Aldecott and you, O'Malley, have made your way into the woods, and you begin to hear the sounds of some sort of beast coming towards you. It's saying, as Aldecott goes, oh, that must be it, isn't it, O'Malley?
My lord, get down to the ground and wait for it to get closer. Wait till you see the beads of its eyes.
Oh, good man, good man. He will bend down, bracing himself.
Hold. I will kneel down and actually have the barrel over my shoulder and holding it and supporting it. Hold.
Comes through the brush. Do you let fly?
I don't actually have the trigger. It's the Lord that has the trigger.
Then as this beast stumbles through, boom! Explosion of the shotgun. As Aldecott goes, I think I got it, and we hear, oh, bloody hell! as the figure has been shot goes flying back into the brush.
Do I see what the beast was?
You got a pretty good look as Wicket has taken a great deal of shot right to the chest.
Yes, my lord, I think you have. If you will go back, I'll make sure it's properly dressed for you.
Oh, good man, O'Malley, you know me in blood. Oh.
And I think that's probably about the time that a bleeding and terrible looking Spargo comes limping out of the woods towards you, Dick. There.
Okay. So I have a look at Aldecott at
Wicket.
Wicket on the ground. Spargo, my man. Sorry, Spargo, my man. Are you okay?
It's fucking Deacon. Just came out of nowhere with that stick.
I can't believe it. You're hurt.
I come over and I sort of grab onto O'Malley's bicep and sort of lean into him.
And as he gets close, I'm going to open up with with one of the barrels into his chest. And as he goes down, I'm basically gonna go remove put what the spent shell in wickets. I'm gonna make it look like they've shot each other.
Just reaching out, sort of bleeds out on the ground there.
Oh, that's excellent.
And I'm gonna wait. And when they've both passed, I'm okay. Okay, O'Malley, okay. Help! Help! There's been a tragic accident.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, as you begin calling, Deacon, you have smashed about the head and shoulders that young upstart Spargo, and you see coming back out of the woods Lord Aldecott off to the side, and you see that Rubric is there with his valet, and he's got the gun rather shakily pointed towards the woods. I don't guess you do see Lord Aldecott. I'm sorry. You can hear Rubric and his valet going, I think I see the thing, sir. Is that it? And Rupert goes, I don't know. It's certainly a something. But there, it's as you head over. I'm guessing head over. Rupert goes, oh dear, it's coming right at me. And there's an explosion.
I definitely call that. I'm like, shoot it, Lord. Shoot it, young Lord Aldecott. Shoot it.
Boom! The gun goes off. And Aldecott, or Rupert, of course, falls over backwards from the kick of the gun.
Can I just say something?
You may.
Given the conversation I had with the actual valet earlier, we weren't going to be equipping the Rupert with firearms. So am I assuming this is actually a blank that he's just fired?
It does indeed seem that way. And both and his valet is somewhat intoxicated. So as Rupert falls over, the valet goes, "Oh, I think you got it, sir." As Deacon, you hear an enormous surge of noise and a growl. As something comes and leaps at you. I would like for you to roll me a go out on the grounds real quick. And the actual beast has been beaten out of the brush and charged you.
Going out with style on the grounds. I got a 7.
All right. This thing, you feel something enormous and furry kind of stomp on top of you, throwing you to the ground. You will take a trauma as this thing's slavering mouth drips slobber upon you, and it moves past, and Vala goes, "Holy crap! What the hell is that?" As you hear next to you the sounds of breaking bones, and Rupert going, oh dear, that's not it at all. Oh, I didn't hit it at all. No, oh dear."
I assume there's another shot in the barrel. So I imagine he'd fire the second blank straight at it.
Boom! As it fires across. You are deafened, Deacon. Lord Aldecott, back up on the hill, is going, "Oh, Mally, there seems to be another one." You can hear in the distance as you're going, "Help! Oh, help, there's been a tragedy." And from beyond the crowd that was there to watch, the villagers begin charging forward with their torches, and apparently they had also brought a few of their own, like they have a hatchet, and they have the bottle openers, and they have a kitchen knife, as they come in and begin just stabbing at this beast in a true fuel of Christmas spirit. They joined right into the tradition. And so we're going to end with a bit of an epilogue to finish out our session.
Merry Christmas.
Sparta, things have not gone so great for you. Why don't we let you epilogue out a bit of what happens in this immediate aftermath?
And can it have ghosts in it?
Oh, would it just be tragic if the ghost of the Lord was actually haunting him now?
I don't know. I think there's probably like just weird things that follow O'Malley around the house. Strange noises and things falling over, and just the occasional small fire.
So,
on the end of my beard.
All right. So Spargo has joined the household even in death, and follows around O'Malley to get back his vengeance. All right, Deacon, you've been deafened now, and you're blind. Young Rubric is laying there as bloody peasants are just hacking away at this beast. And Aldecott's going, "Good show, Rubric. You must have winged it." What are you doing, Deacon? And what would you like to epilogue out our story with?
I think we just, I'll just move straight into epiloguing. I think we see, like Deacon getting a few, like he's getting hit by the villagers and stuff a little bit. So the next time, I think some time passes and we see him like walking through the halls of the house, and I think we see a cat walks past him in the hallway, and it kind of they turn and look at each other, and it's got some weird glowing eyes, and then he looks around into another room as he passes, and he walks into the room, and there's Bagatha in there with a young child, and I guess we don't really know if it's where this child exactly has come from, if it's involved the cousins or if it's some sort of like immaculate demon conception. But I think a similar. It might be a nice tie-in that it's the same he walks past that doorway as well, and the child's eyes glow in the same way as the cat's eyes do, and he just chuckles off. I think maybe you hear Bagatha going, like rubbing the baby on the head too, and he's like, "You're so beautiful, little birdie." And it's like a family name that's been passed along, and he just walks off down the hallway.
Lovely, lovely. And Gerwin O'Malley has had a hell of an eventful day. We epilogue out for dear O'Malley.
It's raining. There are dark clouds in the sky. The rain and the mood is pouring down. There are family gathered in the family graveyard as a casket is being lowered in. The priest gives his benediction. Everyone's dressed in black. There's umbrellas there. His lordship reaches up, drops something over his brother's grave. O'Malley's holding the umbrella. The camera cuts to him over his shoulder. He turns round. And winks at the camera and smirks, and then well, someone has to look out for the interests of the family. And the whole fourth wall breaking address the camera before turning back and walking with his lordship back to the house. And then after that, there's an after credit scene.
Ooh.
Credits roll, everything else, and it cuts to the same graveyard. And then a hand pops out of the grave.
Bravo. Thank you, gentlemen, for playing. I hope y'all enjoyed it. We got a minute or two. I really appreciate you guys hopping in here at the last minute.
Yeah, definitely.
It was y'all were great to play with, and I hope y'all had fun with it. What do y'all think of Bedlam Hall? I'll go down. We're not going to do a roses and thorn, but I'd love to hear people say something what they think about the game and a little bit of, how did this just feel like AI ran and how did the game play? Gerwin, you want to start that off?
I enjoyed it. I love the setting. I love the fact that it got a bit weirder and weirder and weirder as it went on. I think My Secret was a bit too big for what a one session game, and I should have gone for something smaller. But someone impersonating a fallen soldier is such a trope of the actual genre.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Flavored your character really nicely still, even if we didn't get to investigate it made you feel untrustworthy in some way, like from the outset.
I really enjoyed it. I loved playing the loyal, I'm not going to say henchman, the loyal retainer. Mm-hmm. And Sony's basically just looking out for the family.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, we got a nice dinner out of it.
Lou?
And his lordship did finally get that crackling he was after.
Great. Bit of long pig. Lou, any thoughts of the game? How did you enjoy it, or did you have anything you saw that could have been better?
I really enjoyed it. It's I'm still learning how to play stuff, I guess, that's not like straight fantasy like that, which is, that's my happy safe place. I know all the tropes and how to break the tropes and all of that kind of stuff, so it's slightly outside my comfort zone, I guess. And so I just appreciate you guys all playing with me, and I felt like I warmed up a little bit as I went along. Cool, thanks. But it's nice I feel really supported playing games in this community to learn how to do that. And yeah, I really loved it.
Good. I think it's a neat, nifty game. Patrick, any thoughts, complaints? He'll be honest enough to give me a complaint.
I am often mean to you.
Yeah.
No, I love this game. I think it's really fun. I think the genre mashup is really delightful because it's not like you're playing the Addams Family. You're playing the almost normal people that have to deal with all of this weirdness, and there's all those strictures on you of you've got to be upright and proper and very English. And so I just I love how it comes out every time, and I think it's a really great mix of high stakes, low stakes PvP. Because I mean, like shooting other servants in the chest, not just. But things certainly often seem to build up to that sort of head. But in the meantime, it's all these petty, like backbiting things to get back at each other along the way, which I really like.
Yeah, sorry you were beaten and then murdered right at the end there.
Yeah, I needed a full guy for the shooting, and I couldn't really let it come back on his lordship. So
No, I see what you all think of me now. It's fine.
But hey, he's haunting my character now, so that's a win for my character. He finally got you in his bedroom.
Well, good, as long as you're happy. But yeah, I love the weird angle that this game takes to PvP. It's really interesting and petty and weird as fuck.
I'll say that of anything, I wish I'd have been able to come in with something a bit more focused and a little, we kind of spread because I wasn't as focused because I was going to continue the other one. We came in with something fresh. I hope that it felt like everybody got to do stuff. And so as long as that felt good, I'll be happy. I wish I'd have given us a slightly more coherent adventure, but it was certainly neat and cool and violent and beautiful and terrible all at once.
Yeah, it felt like a really nice little like movie or like, opening like 2-part episode kind of like show to me. Yeah, I really loved the story we told.
Yeah,
I think
go ahead.
I think Garen's definitely the MVP of my MVP. It was like you had a really big influence. I liked the whole hunt thing, and
yeah, I really loved what you did for most of the episode.
Just right up to the end.
It could have just as easily been Deacon if he wandered up first, I think.
Every time we played this game, it's been a ton of fun, and it always gets to these really cool, neat moments that just pay off so nicely. So again, thank you guys for joining in. I look forward to playing with both of you many more times. Garwin, I can't wait to play with you at WWW. Luke,
Yes.
I always want to play with you, so hopefully we're going to have a chance to do that more in the future. And Patrick, I play with you all the time, and of course I enjoy it every single time.
Yes, you're contractually obligated.
Yeah.
Just a heads up. I don't know if people are going to be available, but not this Saturday, but next Saturday. As in not this Saturday coming up, next Saturday, I'm going to be running a one-off worldwide wrestling event based around a Christmas pay-per-view.
I saw you mention that. I'll keep my eye out on that for sure.
So Christmas Carnage.
Ooh.
Cool.
What time are you running it?
Trouble with time zones. It's going to be sometime around about 7 o'clock UK time, so around about 2 o'clock East Coast on the Saturday.
I still don't know what it means for my time yet, but I'll see if I can jump in anyway.
I'll probably be cooking food for people, but I've arranged for those Sundays. I'm getting out from those brunch ladies early so I can make sure and be for those WWW.
Well, the plans for 3 at the moment, but it's going to be a regular thing, hopefully. I want to build it up over enough time that I can actually get proper storylines going.
Cool. I'll tell you.
Cool. I absolutely want to try and jump into that as much as possible. Even if you're doing something after these three, I may not be able to be at all of them, but I'll certainly find time to be at some.
Hopefully we will. Anyway, sorry.
All right. Thank y'all
Not
for
bad.
playing. And I'll talk with y'all later.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye now.
Thanks, everyone.